They say the holy water's watered down, and this town's lost its faith. Our colors will fade eventually. So if our time is running out, day after day, we'll make the mundane
Guys,
a masterpiece.
one news, Send one stock goes skyrocket crazily for the last couple of days. I'm talking about this piece of news from the ELAT. What was it about? SemiFive develops AI chip using MRAM, magnetic field based random access memory technology. OMG, Samsung Electronics to handle foundry production for next generation memory ASIC. Guys, on the surface, it is one simple news headline. However, it has profound implication for all we have known. From all we have known from other companies such as Samsung Electronics, SK Hynix, and Micron Technologies, they all make DRAM memories, which stand for dynamic random access memories. Those memories, once the power is removed, then what has been stored in those memories will be gone. So compared to that, MRAM is non-volatile versus the previous former one, which was called volatile memories. So MRAM, let's continue, guys. The other type is very slow with higher endurance. Endurance is how many times you can write and retrieve data without damaging the hard drive totally. And we find most likely the next generation memory that can do both, which has high endurance and non-volatile memory, meaning once the power is off, what has been stored stay inside that memory space and can be retrieved in the future, anytime in the future. And with high endurance means for at least 10 years, you can read, write, retrieve, read, write, retrieve many times without issues, without enough wear and tear to break the memories chips. And also with very low energy use compared to all of the other type of memories. Guys, let's dive right in. SemiFive said on May 7, May 7, just a couple of days ago, it successfully developed an artificial intelligence semiconductor incorporating embedded Magnetoresistive Random Access Memory, or EMRAM, in partnership with a Chinese AI chip company. You don't have to worry about this, okay? What happened overseas have huge implications on our sword, and you will know why in a second. MRAM is a non-volatile memory technology, non-volatile, that writes and reads data using electrons being generated through electric current applied to magnetic materials. The technology consumes less power, operates faster than direct random access memory, DRAM. Western Digital makes this, and SanDisk make NAND, and Micron make other high speed and with high endurance memories, but still MRAM has the highest endurance. MRAM also features a smaller bit CE second structure than SRAM, enabling higher data density. Data density is very important because you want to put a lot of these memories next to the AI chips, so that when the memories are put next to the AI chips, the read, write, and travel time for the data is much shorter, and then the AI chip overall can do the compute at much faster rate, and you get the result at much shorter time. So if you can have high endurance, right, you read, write many times because you constantly have millions of queries for each of the module. And then if you consume the least amount of energy, the better, because as we all know, data center requires lots of power. It's crazy. How many kilowatts are we talking about per data center? And if we can find memory that can use less power, or any components of the AI infrastructure that use less power, the better, right? And then high density, we can pack more data in one single module. The AI chip with all this memory. So the MRAM enables that. So let's take a more deep dive into what MRAM has in store for our future data center build out. The newly developed eMRAM chips is an application-specific integrated circuit ASIC built on an 8 nanometer process node. The product targets physical AI and autonomous driving applications, see? And also AI data center in the United States as well. But then in China, they are now targeting for physical AI. So robots is physical AI. Drones are physical AI. Everything that move around are physical. And autonomous driving applications. OMG, going forward, how many things will be going autonomous? We have Uber trying to do some autonomous driving as well as autonomous food delivery. You have Amazon partnering and buying the trucks from Rivian, Rivian, that electric car company. And they will be doing a lot of autonomous deliveries in the future. And we're talking a lot, almost everything will be autonomous. Okay, people, let's go right into the company, and then let's talk about what that company is. Okay, let's go. So when we take a look at what are the differences, which companies, which memory companies are making what type of memory specifically. So DRAM, dynamic random access memory, HBM, while Western Digital and SanDisk, a subsidiary previously of Western Digital. However, Western Digital spin off SanDisk last year, and SanDisk IPO at roughly $33, $35 per share, and now is almost $1,600 per share. Dominates in NAND, NAND, solid state drive, SSD storage. That is SanDisk, okay? NAND and solid state drive. And then Everspin Technologies provide NIND, high-end MRAM, electromagnetic random access memory for specialized applications. Memory technology comparison. Micron Technology, take a simple MU, a leader in high bandwidth memory, HBM3E, HBM4, and AI optimized dynamic random access memory and NAND, holding substantial market share in data center applications. NAND is what? NAND is like flash memories, right? Flash memories, such as the little memory sticks that we have, if I can find it. I think I have some. Yeah, I put it somewhere else. So those memory, some of them, actually, I take that back. These NANDs are different from our sticks, the memory sticks. That's what I'm trying to say. I kind of have too many things in my head. So the memory in our memory stick, we plug it into our computer or laptop. We retrieve the data right on the memory stick. And then we unplug it from our computer and unplug it, meaning unplug it from the power source as well. Those content written onto those memories are already there and they are non-volatile, meaning in the future you plug it back to the computer or laptop, you can retrieve those data and without any loss. However, with there are some memories that are that will be lost when the power source is removed. But let's go with the flow of this. Continue first. Holding substantial market share in data center application. That is Micron Technologies. And then Samsung Electronics, the largest overall memory manufacturer, pioneering next generation HBM4, offering 22% higher performance than HBM3E and 3D NAND with comprehensive logic, memory, and foundry capabilities. Western Digital focuses highly on high capacity, basically hard drive, high definition drive, high HDD for data centers, 89% of revenue, and enterprise solid state drives. The 2026 HDD capacity is fully booked due to AI demand. Crazy. SanDisk, originally Western Digital subsidiary, now no longer. They spin off the company, so it's a standalone company, and you can buy the shares particularly, and specializes in NAND flash memory, including SD cards, the one that we talk about, memory sticks, SD cards, USB drives, the one that we just talked about, and consumer enterprise SSD with strong BIC S8 flash technology. Everspin Technologies is the one that we focus on today. Lynch, manufacturer of Magnetoresistive Random Access Memory, providing non-volatile memory with high endurance. High endurance is you can read and write, retrieve and write many times, 10 years. And then with high speed. So it's good for putting into the same module of those AI chips, if you will. So if you put a lot of these Everspin Technologies, MRAM memory chips alongside the very close to the AI chips, you can expect a very fast compute speed and also high endurance. So very as little amount of maintenance as possible. That's what it means, because it doesn't die. You have to be durable. You cannot afford too much downtime, because data center, everything share the workload evenly, then your result will come out much faster and more accurate without loss. So crucial for specific industrial and aerospace applications rather than massive data storage. So for massive data storage, we have Western Digital SDD, HDD, and then for fast flash memory, write and retrieve temporarily, we have SanDisk, and then for very fast compute speed, next to the AI chips, we have Everspin Technologies. So we don't hear Everspin Technologies that much because they do not really produce that many consumer-focused memory systems. Compared to SanDisk, we buy our memory sticks or USB drive a lot. We use the SD card, SD SanDisk card a lot for our cameras, for our various recording devices, including our laptop and PCs. And then we use a lot of Western Digital hard drive, portable drive. So we know this company, and we know Samsung. But a lot of people don't even know Samsung makes memories, and they have their own foundry too. And a couple of other company also makes memories, which is SK Hynix, a major South Korean firm, holding second or third place in dynamic random access memory and NAND, with a strong focus on high bandwidth memory. You want the memory to have high bandwidth, so that the AI data that you feed the memories, they can store a lot each time, and then retrieve in large bundle each time as well. So to facilitate the fast compute. And Micron Technology, MU is a ticker symbol. We also have invest in this company. So these are all the companies that in the world that makes memories, and there are a couple of Chinese ones. Let's see. So Everspin is very new to a lot of consumers because they do not produce consumer-focused products. And then when we look at their price performance. Now, what also happened in the past few days is Samsung Electronics market capitalization surpassed 1 trillion mark USD equivalent, 1 trillion on May 6, 2026. So it is giving a lot of pressure, upward pressure for all the memory related company. to go higher as far as their market capitalization goes. So Samsung Electronics just surpassed 1 trillion market cap, crazy. And then the second one would be Micron Technology. Look, 812, we bought it at 500, actually 495. And then plus and minus. And then where is the market cap? Market capitalization 900 plus billion, almost 1 trillion. When this company go over 1 trillion, sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. Forward PE is only 8 or 9. Actually, right now maybe 9 plus, but still low. It can 2x from here easily because the bottleneck, and they are still expanding their facility, manufacturing facility. By this time next year, their projected earning is more than 2x actually. So if you have earnings that grow 2x, shouldn't your share price also reflect that? And I would suspect it could be well over 1,000 and maybe reaching 2,000 by this time next year. Last year I said SanDisk would be reaching 400 by 2026, and guess what? SanDisk is almost 1,600 already. So who am I to say that Micron can only go up to 2,000 by next year? Okay, guys. Hopefully you guys will not miss this one. Let me let you know what exactly happened for the last few days for MRAM, which is named as Everspin Technologies. Okay, so today it's shot up 53%. It's so crazy. Last week I had one stop system shot up 60% in one day, and today I have Everspin Technologies shooting up 53% for one day. It's so crazy. AI infrastructure build is crazy. It's not in a bubble. Now, why SoFi, why ServiceNow, why Palantir, why Salesforce are not moving for the last couple of months? Because they are great company, great growth, but they are all software based. Okay, so they need the AI data center to build out first before they can even put more data into their system. So it is very logical that now most of the money are going to AI infrastructure build out. So once we build out all the AI infrastructure, all the AI data center, then SoFi Technologies, Palantir, AppLovin, ServiceNow, Salesforce, all these companies all above. And even there was another one that a lot of people were wondering. Okay, let's talk about the one that we already just talked about the name. All these software-based companies will suddenly see explosive surge of AI use cases, because once this AI data center infrastructure built out, then SoFi Technologies have no the limit, the bottleneck for the technology usage will be kind of relieved somewhat. And then you can expect the same thing to AppLovin, Salesforce, all these software-based company basically, right? And ServiceNow, Palantir, Robinhood, all these somewhat use AI but still software-based, because they need the AI infrastructure once again. So I'm going circles now because I really want to stress that importance. We have this build out the. It's like we have a lot of fast sports car, but if we don't have a nice highway infrastructure, where are we gonna spend our great time with our sports car, right? With 1,000 horsepower, let's say, or 2,000 horsepower. We need a nice highway infrastructure to drive fast, right? So the same thing, SoFi, ServiceNow, Palantir, AppLovin, all these software-based companies are great. They have a lot of horsepower. They have a lot of growth under their belt. But then they are still waiting for AI data center infrastructure build out before they can expand even further. So that's why their stocks are not moving. And we can see, you see, Everspin Technology is going gaga, and then Circle Internet Group. Well, we all know Bitcoins are trending up now. Plug power is very important for AI data center. Navitas Semiconductor, the one that I talked about in my previous videos. 15 companies I love to buy for this year, and then it was the honorable mention Navitas Semiconductor, special edge case AI chips. Okay. Let's focus back on Everspin Technologies. So if we look at Everspin Technologies, so the last 5 days, look, yesterday went up 20 something percent, and I bought it right over here. Monday, where was Monday? Oh, right here. So yeah, so around 18, 19, oh, I cannot believe it. The gain is, wow, monumental, my goodness. Crazy. And kudos for those who bought months earlier and wait for the momentum to arrive, because most institutional investors don't even know this company, let alone the consumer and most YouTubers, because this company, Everspin Technologies, they don't produce much consumer-focused products. These are all large-scale AI-related specific memory chips. They are non-volatile. The data, once it's written, stay there until you read it again or remove it from the memories. And then they use less amount of energy, which is especially great for AI data center, and they can be written and retrieved fast. All the data can be written and retrieved fast from these memories. So it is highly desirable for the AI infrastructure built out. All these chips will be in high demand going forward. And because just what we have just talked about, Samsung just passed 1 trillion market cap, it gives pressure for this remaining chip company to also see higher market cap too. When the big fishes are doing well, smaller fishes also do well. The water goes up, lift all boats, right? Water going up lifts all boats in the pond. So, all right, guys. I do not have a projection of when is the top, but if there is continuous bottleneck for memories, including Everspin Technologies, because all the resources, we have only so much resources. But then the major tech company in the world, they are spending over 1.2 trillion in AI data center and infrastructure build out. Then I would say at least 10% of those 1.2 trillions go to spending in buying all these memories. Otherwise, you have AI chips, but you have no memories. You cannot do nothing. Likewise, if you have AI chips and memories, you don't have the power source for these AI compute, then they cannot do nothing. So all these work together. And also Nokia is another one. Nokia, take a simple Nokia. Nokia is another great one for data center intermodule communication. They also have 5G, 6G, and optical communication. Crazy time, people. Hope our portfolio will continue to do well. And SoFi, ServiceNow, Palantir, AppLovin, Robinhood, all these software-based company will do well in the future. They are still seeing phenomenal growth. Okay, Palantir growth was over 80% for this past quarterly result. It's crazy. And AppLovin is 59%. SoFi was 43%. It's crazy. These are fast growth company, just not as fast as all these AI related company, because the sudden pressure, so much pressure, 1.2 trillion to build out the whole thing. See, it's crazy. Can you imagine that? It's so crazy. So the demand is so sudden. They are seeing bottleneck for at least the time being next year and well into 2028. Then after all this spending maybe die down a little bit, slow down a little bit, then all the major hot money, all the hot funds may be moving out of, due to the sector rotation, they will be moving out of this AI infrastructure related company. Then the next leg up would be all the software related company, because they can start to utilize all the AI data center and infrastructure built out to increase their workload and increase their productivities and lower their cost. So while serving more clients, so SoFi Technologies, ServiceNow, Salesforce, Palantir, AppLovin, all these companies, Robinhood, we'll start to see meaningful upside for as far as the stock grows. I would say by middle of next year, because stocks are always forward-looking instruments. So if they are going up in 2028, they will be going up next year, 1 year ahead. All right, people, thank you for watching. Welcome back. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
They say the holy water's watered down, and this town's lost its faith. Our colors will fade eventually. So if our time is running out, day after day,